Hey y'all, this is Kathy.
And this is Bernard.
And we're
Voyage.
Voyage. And you're watching
PVTV.
Alright, y'all. Episode today is how do you find poly individuals or like-minded individuals? And the answer is you can find them anywhere and everywhere. And they could literally be right there in your backyard, right there within the same community of friends that you have. Sometimes we have this tendency that we have to feel like we need to search outward or search somewhere for some community when in reality, we have to build it ourselves. It's probably from the people that are right here closest to us. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times, with us, when we started on our journey, we didn't really have many people around us that were doing the same things we were doing or were interested in the same things we were interested in. So we felt alone. We had no idea who to talk to about these things. People already knew that we were together. We were going to end up getting married. So it's like, how do you tell them that you want to be involved with other people and also still have that commitment? So it's not something that's really common. So that makes it kind of hard. But I think as we've been doing this for so long, of course, now we've kind of refined our practice per se. We've done a lot better as the years go on as far as doing things in a better way. But I think now we've just come to realize, like, you just never know.
And we're more out in the open with it now,
unlike
in the past.
Yeah. And I know definitely we were in Hawaii for like 2 weeks, right? And we had it was I think the last night when you were going to be flying back.
I was flying back. It was like a Thursday.
It was a Thursday night. We went to some like reggae club or reggae night at some restaurant. And we ended up going. Me and Bernard wanted to go have a good time. And it was pretty much dead. It wasn't like a full club. But we saw some girl walk in, a pretty girl come in with like a couple. And we're like, oh, wow, she's really cute. Like, let me go up and talk to her and kind of maybe ask her if she wants to dance. So I remember I walked up to her and I was like, hey, do you want to dance? And she was like, oh, you can buy me a drink. And I was like, first of all, I'm just trying to get a dancing, which I know you're watching this video, so you're probably going to laugh. But literally, I was like, first of all, I'm just trying to get a dancing. It's not that serious. And she's like, oh, okay. So anyway, long story short, we started dancing and started talking. And I was asking her, like, are you involved with anyone? Or do you have a boyfriend? Or what's going on? And she was like, I'm in a consensual, non-monogamous relationship.
I was like, damn.
When she said that, I was like, oh my God, you are speaking my fucking language. And then she's like, are you like that too? I'm like, yeah, me too. I'm like, my husband and I were reading the book Ethical Slut. She's like, I've read that too. And I'm like, oh my God, we literally stopped. We remember we was watching.
Yeah, and then you guys talked about reading the book Sex at Dawn.
Yeah, Sex at Dawn was another book that we talked about. We literally got off the dance floor and we went off to a table and talked for I don't even know how long. Just about like our lifestyle and how we're trying to do this and do that and what we're trying to build and like how amazing it is and how much free it is and how you're so vulnerable obviously within this lifestyle and just kind of how to maneuver all that. It was such an amazing experience and we would have never shared that if we never would have had that moment where first of all with her just being bold and just coming out and saying it, not knowing how I was going to take it and obviously not knowing that we do the same thing. So I think that was amazing. I think that was a beautiful thing about that. And I know Bernard has one hell of a story in regards to that type of situation of you just never know.
You never
know. You throw it out there and see what happens.
And you got to approach people too also. So it's it takes a different type of person to walk up to someone and tell them your spiel and how you feel. But my story actually is where we actually had our daughter. It was at a hospital. And long story short, there was a cute clerk that was in the hospital that we had our baby girl in. And so she knew I had both my kids there. And she knew the doctors that were coming in, and then she also see my wife come in pregnant. Obviously. So it's one day we were over there, and we were unloading the car, and my wife is, we did our hospital tour, and my wife came out, while I was still in the car, and she had already went in to sign in, to check in, and she was like, oh, there's some cute girl in there, baby. I'm like, Dad, you fucked the shit out of her. I'm like, all right, let me just, let me get in there first. Let me be the judge of that before I kind of jump to conclusions and everything. And sure enough, I went there, and the bitch was bad as fuck. And so... I didn't think nothing of it. We see her casually back and forth because we're coming in the hospital, and me going to get food with my wife, and she had a baby girl, and so we fast forward to 4 or 5 months later, and which
as of literally
4 days ago. So I just finished getting off work and doing a couple workouts with a couple guys, and so I drove over to the hospital and. In the process, I drove around the hospital twice, and I told my wife, I don't think she's here. And deep down inside, I knew, she was there, but it's I didn't want to step out and, be be like bold and go talk to her and tell her my situation when like she seen me have a baby there, she see my wife, so she's probably thinking like this dude's a fucking dog, he's cheating on his wife and doing all that. So I had all this guilt trip and all this different stuff. So I'm like, I don't need to do this. But I there's a quote that says where your biggest fear lies will give birth to your freedom and like your release. And so I end up finding a parking spot, which was like a laboring and delivering nurse's parking spot, and which was illegal, and I should have did that. But, fast forward, I walked inside to the hospital where she was at, and the clerk, and there's an elevator that allows people to come in the hospital, so they kind of monitor who's coming in, or so no one steals a baby. And in the process, as I'm walking in, it's like 15 pregnant women that come in because they're doing a hospital tour. Okay, so long story short, I said hello to the girl. So I walked over to the bathroom and used the bathroom, and then came back out. And then, I was doing affirmations to kind of, like, I can do this. I believe in myself. I love myself. And all those different things. And so through all that, once that was over with, all the women had cleared up and the pregnant women had cleared up, I stood up and I was like, I can do this, and so I went over and sat in front of her, and I was like, hey, and I said hello to the girl, and I was like, I know you remember me from, back when I had my daughter here, a couple months ago, and also that my wife also, and I was like, I stuttered a little bit because I was, a little off, but I was like, I don't want you to think I'm cheating or like, doing something like shiesty or anything like that, but me and my wife, when we came here last time, thought you were very cute, and we were interested in getting to know you. And, so we have actually a polyamorous relationship where, she allows me to talk to other people and see and have a relationship with them and, so on and so forth. And she has the same thing also. So I was explaining to her, like, and in the process, like, I'm like, my anxiety's up. I'm like, damn, what the hell she gonna think? Like, she's gonna be like, get the fuck out of here. What do you think? Like, I just see you have your baby here and your wife, you're married, so you might be cheating on your wife, but it turns out she was actually in a polyamorous relationship. She had she was on the process of coming out of a polyamorous relationship.
Like a triad. Like another couple.
And then like, the whole time I'm thinking like she wouldn't understand and she wouldn't know what's going on. And it's like, you never know. Had I just walked out of there and I had so many excuses not to be in there. I was tired. I had to be home earlier. These 15 pregnant women came out. Just all those different things. And it's, I never knew. And I walked up to her, and sure enough, I found out she knew she's in that community. She knew what I was talking about. And so we had a long spiel and talk about it. And it's like, like.
And that was what's crazy about it too, is that like, even when he approached her, it wasn't even about like us trying to date her together or like us as a couple trying to approach her. It was more like Bernard's gonna go talk to her and kind of go like see what's up and kind of see what what she want to do. So it wasn't even like we're trying to bring in somebody as a triad. But I think it's just when he came and called me and he was like, I hope you're sitting down. You're not gonna believe this. And I'm like, oh my God, how did it go? And he's like, are you sitting down? And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, she literally just came out of a triad. I'm like, what are the odds of that? Like, seriously, what are the odds of that? Yeah. Like, literally. And I think that literally showed us, like, you just never know who around you is doing what. Yeah. Because polyamory or being open or whatever lifestyle it is that you have, or whether it's gay, lesbian, bisexual, however you identify, transgender, like, there is no look to it. You don't know what people are dealing with or what people are trying to explore. There's no face to that.
Yeah.
So it's like you're sitting here trying to feel like, oh, like you're suffering in silence. Well, little do you know, there's a bunch of people around you that might be thinking the same
right
thing.
Next to you. You don't even know. Yeah.
We even have a friend of ours that's actually a mutual friend for like a long time. And we're still friends now, obviously. But she texted me the other day and was like, hey, so about your new poly page and your little YouTube. And I'm sitting there like dying laughing. I already know what she's talking about. And I was like, yeah, so I'm saying laughing face emojis. But she started opening up about how she was involved with someone and had a boyfriend and they were doing threesomes and all that stuff. And we were always so comfortable with her. Like, we literally went to like Carnival one year, shared the same bed in a hotel. And it was, nothing happened. But it's like, it was so normal for us. And she said the same thing too, that she didn't even question that it was like, maybe not acceptable. It was just like she was so comfortable with us. And like little did we know, like if we would have like, that was like years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago probably. And it's like crazy because after we were like done texting, like I was talking to bro, I'm like, damn, like who would have known like where that could have ended up? Like, for real. Like, even if it could have been something just for fun or something more serious, you just never know. But it's like we were sitting here, like, trying to keep our stuff, like, under wraps. And maybe she didn't want to say anything because she probably didn't want to feel like she's pressuring up or pushing up on a couple that's married and this whole societal thing of being married and how, you know, it's sacred. And I'm not saying it's not sacred.
The funny thing is, when you guys talked about it, it actually crossed her mind. But she was like, they too much in love to actually, you know, be into that type of stuff. And it's like the whole time we were into it, like fully engaged.
Like fully into it. And we didn't want to compromise our friendship with her, obviously. You know, that gets kind of funny
being
too.
Fearful and like, you know, like worst thing she can do is say no. And like, you know, like I'm not about that. And,
and I think just looking back on that now, like, we just kind of had like a lot of like epiphanies lately where it's just like, especially what happened with the homegirl a couple days ago and with our friend like literally yesterday. And it's just like, damn, like, we literally could be missing out on so many different opportunities. And it's like, and I think that's what's so important, that if you can take one thing away from this video, is the fact that like, when you share your story, like, other people are going to come out the woodworks that you didn't think would come out the woodworks. Like, and I think that's one thing that we really enjoy with having this page, is just being able to have that freedom and not have a page with friends and families that we have to post things and kind of be mindful because our aunts, you know, following us on Instagram. It's like, this is our page, which is why it's private, so we can kind of also have some kind of control over who views our content. But it's like, for us, well, except the YouTube, you can click on the YouTube link. But even still, it's like, it's just a way for us to kind of just be open and kind of be more free. And it's like, that's allowing other people to feel more free and feel like it's okay and it's normal. And I think that's just an amazing thing, you know. And I think also, too, for those of you who don't know, that maybe in your areas you might actually have, like, I know if y'all have, like, a meetup app. They could be different meetup groups for polyamory. You'll be surprised that can be on there. If you're active on Facebook, there are different private Facebook groups that you can join. That is another way of having community. We're on 2 different ones. It's like Black and Poly, and then Young Black and Poly. And what's so great about that is that they post, like, people post all the time about the struggles that they're having, the insight that they got. And it's like situations that they're involved in that they don't know what direction to take, and they're getting advice. And it's like, they ask one question, you got like 300 comments on there. Even
an article all on like dating, polyamory, dating, and all those different things. It's really interesting, very informative, and it kind of hits like different areas. So we're kind of like, you know, well-rounded on every aspect.
So they post a lot of educational stuff too. So I think that's what's amazing, is that there's different groups out there. So if y'all are interested in getting into those groups, definitely find them on Facebook. Definitely add them, and they'll probably ask you to answer some questions. But once you get into that, I mean, we learned so much just from literally like seeing what people have been posting on there and seeing the feedback, and we've just learned a lot. That's kind of helped us grow to be poly just on our own as individuals and also as a couple, as a family. So I think that's just been amazing. But other than that, do you think you have anything else to add, baby?
I would just add, get the 2 books, Ethical Slut,
for sure,
as well as Sex at Dawn. There's like, you know, an audio book you can listen to, and there's also like the regular book you can get also. And just also remember, like, you know, where your biggest fear lies will give birth to, you know, your freedom. So I don't have it's not quoted right away, but I need to within it, but you get the concept of what I'm trying to say, you know. Like, go where your fears are, and, you know, go for courage and not comfort, you know. Get out of your comfort zone and do something different. You know, you never know who's out there, who's going through the same thing, and who may want to also open up to you, but it's just, you know, they don't have an outlet or some kind of connection to be like, okay, like, it's safe for me now to also reveal who I really am and what I'm about and what I'm into. So just keep that in mind, you know. So, you know, it's no particular face, no particular place, and, you know, no particular person. You never know who it might be.
Yeah, know, and I think that's one thing Bernard's always told me too, is just like, you know, if you feel like uncomfortable about doing something, you feel like those butterflies in your stomach, that means you're supposed to do that. You're feeling that hesitation because you know you should do that. And I think that's kind of like what I've been trying to take, I know, in different areas of my life, at work, and just dealing in regards to even polyamory too. It's just like that feeling of like, okay, if I feel like I want to talk to this person, but I'm starting to feel like, or think of all the million excuses. Oh, they're on the phone. Oh, they got headphones on. Oh, they got... If I start making excuses, I know, okay, I better go say something.
Yeah, say something.
To whoever that is. So I think that's just been an amazing thing that we've been kind of learning from. So if y'all have any other questions, please feel free to DM us. You can follow us on Instagram. IG at Voyage. You can also follow us here, obviously, on YouTube for more videos. But definitely, if you have any questions, send us a DM or comment below, and we'll definitely answer those questions. But other than that, anything else you buy, baby?
Nah.
No? All right, y'all. Well, we are signing out.
Peace.
Deuces.